God, 4 years in LASU, no job?
In a village where the red earth meets the endless sky, there lived a woman named Mama Chike. Every morning before the rooster crowed, she would wake, fry groundnuts and walk to the market. Under the scorching sun, she sat selling, kobo by kobo, naira by naira. Each coin had a name, school fees. Each note had a purpose, Chike's future. Her husband, Papa Chike, worked 2 jobs. During the day, he tapped palm wine until his hands bled. At night, he carried cement bags to build other people's houses while his own roof leaked. When the rains came, they slept under buckets catching water. But they didn't complain. They had a dream. Their son Chike would become somebody. The whole village believed in this dream. They contributed money. The widow gave from her broom sales. The Okada rider donated his Sunday offering. Even the village drunks staggered to Mama Chike with 50 naira, saying, "Make our boy shine for all of us." This wasn't just Chike's dream anymore. It belonged to everyone who had ever been poor, everyone who had ever struggled, everyone who believed education was the ladder out of poverty. And so Chike went to the university in the big city, carrying not just his bags, but the hopes of an entire village on his young shoulders. Now, in that same village lived Emeka, Chike's childhood friend. While Chike was packing for university, Emeka was starting an apprenticeship with the phone repairman by the market. The villagers laughed at him. They mocked his oil-stained clothes and his small screwdrivers. Emeka the button presser, they called him. While Chike is becoming a big man with grammar, you are here playing with small phones like a child. But Emeka didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. He just bent his head and kept learning how to open phones without breaking them, how to replace screens, how to diagnose problems just by listening to a customer's complaints. Every insult he heard, he stored it as fuel. Every mockery became motivation. 4 years Chike spent in that university. 4 years of lectures and late nights, of reading until his eyes burned, of examinations and presentations. He studied economics, business administration, accounting. His certificates piled up like harvest yams. Distinctions, first class, awards. His name was called at every ceremony. During holidays, when he returned home, the village would gather to hear him speak. His big English impressed them. Words like macroeconomics, fiscal policy, market equilibrium. Mama Chike would sit in the front, nodding at sentences she didn't understand, her face shining with pride. "You see my son," she would whisper loudly. "Soon he will walk in those big glass buildings in Lagos. Soon he will wear suit every day and carry laptop." And Chike believed it too. Every A on his transcript felt like a lottery ticket. Every certificate felt like a golden key. He could already see it, himself in an air-conditioned office, signing important papers, attending board meetings, his salary so big it would make his parents cry happy tears. He imagined buying his mother that red car she always talked about, building his father a house with a roof that didn't leak. What Chike didn't know was that thousands of other students were dreaming the exact same dream, all holding the same golden keys, all trying to open the same few doors. Meanwhile, back in the village, Emeka had transformed. He was no longer an apprentice, he was now a master. His small corner in the market had become a proper shop. Customers came from 3 local governments away to find him because his work was excellent and his prices were fair. He had started teaching other boys, taking them as apprentices. His hands, once mocked for being oil-stained, were now creating wealth. But nobody in the village noticed. They were all watching Chike, waiting for his triumphant return. Then came graduation day. Oh, what a day it was. Chike returned home wearing his gown like a king's robe, his certificate framed in glass, his cap tilted at the perfect angle. The village erupted. Drums played, women danced. The chief made long speeches about how Chike would bring development to the community. Children ran behind him in the streets, touching his gown for luck. Mama Chike couldn't stop crying. She held her certificate like it was made of pure diamond. She showed it to everyone, to her friends, to strangers, even to the goats in the compound. "My son, my graduate, we have arrived." That night, there was a feast. They killed a goat they borrowed money to buy because they had nothing left after paying school fees. But it didn't matter. Tomorrow, Chike would start working. Tomorrow, the money would flow. Tomorrow, all the sacrifice would make sense. Tomorrow came. Chike woke up early, put on his one good shirt, printed 50 copies of his CV and started his job search. He went to banks, to oil companies, to government offices, to every business with a gate and a security man. Everywhere they collected his CV with the same practiced smile. "We will review it and get back to you." A week passed, no call. 2 weeks, nothing. A month, silence. Chike printed more CVs. He traveled to the state capital. He paid for online job portals. He refreshed his email every 5 minutes, hoping for interview invitations that never came. His one good shirt became 2 shades lighter from washing. His shoe developed a hole that let in rainwater, but he had no money to repair it. 3 months, 6 months, still nothing. The villagers who once celebrated now whispered, "Is this the graduate we contributed for? See him walking around with empty pockets and big grandma that cannot buy Gary." Mama Chike stopped going to the market. She couldn't face the questions, the pity in people's eyes. Papa Chike's cough grew worse, but there was no money for medicine because everything had gone to school fees. And Chike felt like he was drowning in shame. His certificate hung on the wall, mocking him. All those years of study, all those distinctions, all that knowledge about market forces and profit margins, none of it could put food on the table. He began to avoid the village square where the young men gathered. He knew what they were saying. "See the graduate, big brain, empty hands." One humid afternoon, Chike sat outside his house, staring at nothing, feeling like a failure wrapped in a degree certificate. That's when he saw it. Emeka driving past in a modest but clean car. Not a luxury car, but a car that Emeka had bought with his own money, from his own business, with his own oil-stained hands. Chike's world tilted. His childhood friend, the one everyone mocked, the one who didn't go to university, the button presser, he was succeeding, while Chike, the celebrated first-class graduate, was dying of hunger and shame. That evening, Chike swallowed his pride. It was bitter, that pride, like unripe mango, but he swallowed it. He walked to Emeka's shop. The place was alive with activity. Customers waiting with broken phones, apprentices learning, money exchanging hands, the sound of productivity and purpose. Emeka saw him and smiled without judgment. He closed early, and they sat under the mango tree where they used to play as children. And Emeka told his story. "While you were reading textbooks," Emeka said quietly, "I was reading problems. Every broken phone was a lesson. Every frustrated customer was my teacher. I started with 1 screwdriver and 1 customer, then 2, then 5. I made mistakes. I destroyed phones at first, but I learned. And every phone I fixed, I got paid immediately. Not will call you, not submit your CV. Immediate money for immediate skill." He paused and looked at Chike with kind eyes. "I expanded from phones to laptops, then tablets, then computers. I started teaching others and taking a percentage of their earnings. Now I have 3 shops. 20 boys are working under me. I'm not richer than you will be one day, brother, but I'm eating today. My hands are not empty." Chike felt something break inside him. Not in a bad way, but like a cocoon breaking to release a butterfly. That night, he remembered something his grandfather said before he died. "My son, a man's hands must know how to create,
not just how to wait. The hunter who knows only how to aim but cannot make arrows will die hungry in the forest. The next morning, Chike made the hardest and best decision of his life. He went back to Emeka and said simply, "Teach me."
Emeka didn't mock him, didn't remind him of all the times Chike had flaunted his university status. Instead, he said, "Bring your education. I'll show you how to mix it with skill. You know accounting? Perfect. You'll manage the business while you learn repairs. Your brain and my hands together will build something neither of us could build alone." And so began Chike's second education. His hands learnt what his head never taught him: how to hold tools, how to diagnose problems, how to satisfy customers. It was humbling. It was hard. Some days he wanted to quit because his educated ego screamed that he was meant for bigger things, but his empty stomach screamed louder. 3 months later, something beautiful happened. Chike didn't just become another phone repair guy. His university education suddenly found its purpose. He organized Emeka's chaotic accounts. He created proper systems for tracking inventory, managing apprentices, and handling customers. He saw opportunities Emeka's practical mind had never imagined. "Emeka," he said one day, excitement making his voice shake, "what if we create online training? We teach phone repairs remotely. I handle the business and marketing. You teach the technical skills. We reach people in every state." Emeka's eyes widened. "Chike, your education is finally working." 6 months later, they launched the online training platform. Within a year, they became the biggest phone repair training center in 3 states, physical shops and digital courses. Hundreds of young people learned from them. Chike fixed his mother's roof with his own money. He bought her that red car. But more importantly, he learned what they don't teach in universities. Education opens your mind, but skill fills your hands.
Today, Chike teaches young graduates who come to him with the same lost look he once had. He tells them, "Your certificate is not useless, but it's not enough. While you are waiting for a job that may never come, learn something your hands can do: graphic design, baking, tailoring, coding, makeup, photography, plumbing, content creation, anything that solves a problem people have right now." The village that once mocked Emeka now tells both their stories to every young person. They say, "Don't be like the old Chike, educated in head, empty in hands. Be like the new Chike, educated in head, skilled in hands." My story has ended, but your story, you are writing it right now. The question is not whether Chike's tale is real. Look around, it's everywhere. The question is, are you Chike with empty hands, or are you ready to fill them? The bird that learns only to fly, but not to build, will sleep in another bird's nest forever. Now I'm talking to you. Yes, you. You who's been job hunting for a year, you waiting for the perfect opportunity, you who thinks your degree alone is your ticket. What skill are you learning today? Share this story with someone who needs it. Comment below what skill you are starting this week. Let us hold you accountable. Subscribe if this hits hard. Your certificate is a door opener. Your skill is your income generator. Don't wait until shame and hunger force you to learn. Start today. Drop your skill in the comments. Let's build. The monkey that climbs to the top of the tree but doesn't know how to find food will starve with the best view. Your move, make it count. I don't talk my own.